Myself Megha Pathak from DPS Alwani Lamachor, your bio teacher. So children, from today onwards we are going to start a new chapter, Management of Natural Resources. So first of all, I would like to tell you about resource. What is resource? So anything which is useful to man and can be transformed into more valuable source is called a resource. And natural resource is one where the source is obtained from nature. Forest, wildlife, water, coal and petroleum, these are important natural resources. So, on the basis of their availability or abundance, natural resources are categorized into two types: inexhaustible natural resources and exhaustible natural resources. So, inexhaustible natural resources are the resources which are not likely to be exhausted by human use, like air, water, and solar radiations. And exhaustible natural resources are the resources which are likely to be exhausted by non-judicious human use, and these are further classified into two types: renewable natural resources and non-renewable natural resources. Renewable natural resources. These resources can replenish themselves by recycling and replacement within a reasonable time, but become non-renewable if नॉट मैनेज्ड प्रॉपरली. देखिए, रीन्यूएबल जो नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज हैं ये रिप्लेनिश हो सकते हैं विद इन अ रीजनेबल टाइम, लेकिन अगर इनको प्रॉपरली मैनेज नहीं किया गया तो ये नॉन रीन्यूएबल हो जाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल सॉइल, फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ. And non-renewable natural resources, these are resources which cannot replenish themselves by recycling or replacement and may be exhausted in future. देखिए, जो नॉन रीन्यूएबल नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज होते हैं इनको रिप्लेनिश नहीं किया जा सकता है और ये फ्यूचर में हो सकता है ये बिल्कुल भी ना बचे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मिनरल्स, कोल एंड पेट्रोलियम. All types of resources require management, while some require both conservation and management. See, protection of such resources is necessary so that they could be conserved, and the unjudicious use of such natural resources creates global level problems, and we feel helpless to make any change. And there are international laws and regulations to protect the environment. But at the same time, there are our own national laws and acts for the protection of our environment. Now, next topic is Ganga Action Plan. See, Ganga Action Plan was announced in 1985 by the Ministry of Environment and Forest, and this was the first river action plan that was introduced for the improvement of water quality of river Ganga. The Ganga Action Plan or GAP was a program launched by Rajiv Gandhi in 1986 in order to reduce the pollution load on the river. It was announced in 1985 and this program was launched in 1986. And why it was launched? To reduce the pollution load on the river Ganga. The river Ganga is not only held sacred, it also supplies water to more than 50 million people. It flows for 2,500 kilometers or 1,600 miles from Gangotri in the Himalayas to Ganga Sagar in the Bay of Bengal. It passes through over 100 towns and cities of Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. But you know children, it is being turned into a dirty water drain due to the following factors. First cause is disposal of untreated sewage, garbage and excreta. And second is discharge of poisonous chemical influence by the industries. And third cause is immersion of ashes and dumping of unburnt corpses. देखिए, जो गंगा है रिवर, इसको पवित्र नदी माना जाता है और इसमें डेड बॉडीज़ को भी प्रवाहित कर दिया जाता है, विच इज़ अ बिग कॉज ऑफ pollution of this river. And human activities like bathing and washing of clothes are also responsible for the pollution of this river. And the contamination of river water can be found from two factors. So first factor is total coliform count. See, coliform is a group of bacteria found in ह्यूमन इंटेस्टाइन. देखिए कोलिफॉर्म एक बैक्टीरिया है जो कि ह्यूमन इंटेस्टाइन में होते हैं. एंड द प्रेजेंस ऑफ दीज बैक्टीरिया इन द रिवर वाटर इंडिकेट्स its contamination by disease causing microorganisms. And this is so because coliform itself is harmless, but its presence in the river water indicates that other harmful intestinal bacteria might also be present. देखिए कोलिफॉर्म जो है ये हार्मलेस बैक्टीरिया है, लेकिन इसकी प्रेजेंस ये इंडिकेट करती है कि पानी में और दूसरे बैक्टीरियाज भी होंगे जो कि बहुत हार्मफुल हो सकते हैं. And second indication of contamination of river water, it is pH of water. See, the acidity or basicity of water can be checked with the help of universal indicator. If the pH of river water is found to be below 7, the river water will be acidic and hence polluted. देखिए पानी जो है इसका pH 7 होता है because it is neither acidic nor basic. और अगर river water का pH 7 से कम है, it means water is acidic. और अगर इसका pH 7 से above है, so it means water is basic in nature, which is polluted. So children, there is a question that why there is a need to manage our resources. See, everything that we use or consume as food, clothes, books, vehicles, furniture, petrol, etc. are obtained from resources which are available on the earth. And the only thing that we get from outside is energy of the sun. But even this energy cannot be used directly by us because plants, they carry out photosynthesis and they prepare food. They trap solar energy and convert it into chemical energy. And about this we have already studied in previous chapters. And we need to manage these resources because of the following reasons. So first reason is to meet the needs of increasing population. See, we all know that human population, it is increasing with enormous rate. And the demand for natural resources is also increasing tremendously. And if natural resources are depleted too fast, so it may lead to scarcity of resources. So there should be a proper management of these resources. And natural resources should be used judiciously so that the needs of the present as well as of the future generations are met. And second reason is equitable distribution of natural resources. There should be an equitable distribution of natural resources so that everyone has access and benefit from the development of these resources. And natural resources, these are the gift of nature. And these resources are for all, not for a specific group of people or the persons who are in power. And third reason is to prevent environmental damage. Indiscriminate use or extraction of natural resources leads to certain amount of environmental damage. For example, during mining to extract metals or etc., a lot of pollution is caused due to the large amount of slag, which is a waste product which is discarded during metal extraction. So there should be a safe disposal of secondary waste produced as a result of extracting various resources for our use. So children, by sustainable natural resource management, we can minimize waste production. So there should be sustainable development. So what is sustainable development? The development which meets the current basic needs of humans and also preserves the resources for the needs of future generation. So this is sustainable development.